All right, kids, here's our problem set. All right, much like you probably just did in class about jumping around, hopping around things, today's problem set's all about that. It's about just real life, real world stuff using angles all around you, okay? So let's read through it. Joe, Steve, and Bob. Joe, Steve, and Bob stood in the middle of the yard and faced the house. Okay, there's the house. Joe turned 90 degrees to the right. Steve turned 180 degrees to the right, and Bob turned 270 degrees to the right. Name the object that each boy is now facing. Okay, so Joe, turning 90 degrees to the right. All right, so he's facing the house, and he turns to the right, 90 degrees. What's he facing now? Yeah, the fence. Okay. Now Steve, facing the house, turns 180. Facing the tree, isn't he? That's right. And Bob, let's see what he does. 290, 180, 270, right? 390s is 3 nines is 227. Those 390s is 270. So he's facing the barn. That's right. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Now, in my class, I allow kids to kind of stay a step ahead of me or just kind of go ahead and check in when they get confused, all right? So if you want to work along with me, that's great. If you want to just stop this video and just do it on your own, that's wonderful too. All right, you make your choice. Monique looked at the clock at the beginning of class and at the end of class. Let me bring this in a little bit. There. Okay. How many degrees did the minute hand turn from the beginning of class to the end? Okay, so here's the beginning, right? And the minute hand's the longer hand, right? So it's like almost sticking off the clock there. Now we need to find out how far it turned. So now it's here. So it went from this spot all the way around to this spot. It looks like it went, well, we just did clocks, right? So if I pull my clock out here, it looks like the minute hand started, what's that, right here at the top, and it went 90, 80, 180, 270, right? Do you agree with that? I agree. So, the minute hand went 270 degrees, period. Nice. All right, here's one. The skater jumped into the air and did a 360. What does that mean? Well, it means that he jumped into the air and turned all the way around. And is now facing the same direction. I wonder if you could try that in class. Or if you did. I know we did. We tried it the other day. We stood facing, like, say, the front of the room, and we tried to jump in the air and spin ourselves all the way around so our toes, again, were facing in the front of the room. Right? We had to get our arms involved and everything, really to spin ourselves. Okay? All right, down here. All right. Mr. Martin drove away from his house without his wallet. Mr. Sherwin does that all the time. Then I run in the house looking for my wallet, and I can't find it, I don't know where it is, and then I check my pocket and it's in there. Well, you know how it goes. Well, he did a 180. Where is he heading now? Okay, so if he's driving away from his house this way, right, towards the store, and he goes, oh, I forgot my wallet. Pulling a 180, what does that mean? You probably heard that before. A 180 means whoosh, going the other direction, back towards the house, right? So, Mr. Martin is now heading back to his house. All right, back to his house. Silly Mr. Martin. Okay, good. All right, let's check out the next page, see how we're doing. All right, John turned the knob of the shower 270 degrees to the right. Let me bring this into view here, right? That might help us a little bit. Draw a picture showing the position of the knob after he turned it. Oh, okay. So I get it. My shower's kind of the same way. I go in the shower and I go, gotta turn it, right? So if I turn it so it's pointing this direction, that's just gonna be 90 degrees, just kind of like my clock here that we talked about before, right? So he turned it 270 degrees. So we just talked about what is 270 degrees. It's 3 90s. 190 and 2 90s is 180. One more 90 is 270. So it's facing in that direction, isn't it? So I'm gonna draw where it is. Put my little triangle in there, I think, just like that. It's facing in that direction. There's a 270 right like that. All right. Barb used her scissors to cut out a coupon from the newspaper. A coupon. How many quarter turns does she need to turn the paper in order to stay on the lines? Oh, I get it. So when she's cutting this out, she's got to turn her paper and keep turning it. Remember we were turning the clock when we were cutting it? This is the same way. So how many quarter turns does she need to do it? So she's coming up, right? She's got a quarter turn this way. That's 1. And she's got to do it again. That's 2. Do it again. 3. Do it again. That's 4. There you go. So Barb needs to make 4 quarter turns. There we go. All right. So how about this one? How many quarter turns does the pitcher need to be rotated in order for it to be upright? Okay, so I need to move this guy so it's upright. So how many quarter turns does the pitcher need to be rotated in order to be upright? Well, common sense tells me to take this pitcher and go like this, right? Like if I could just go boop, just like that. And that would just be just kind of rotating it on this, right? So it's funny. I think that I would just do it 1 quarter turn, right? I would just move it 1 time. I would move it just down here like that. You see how I turn it this way? 1 quarter of a turn, right? The whole way around would look like this. There's a whole circle, right? Like on that, right on that little axis. But if I take this guy and just move it down here like this, see how that's just a quarter of a turn? See that? Yeah. So, the picture needs to be turned 1 quarter to the left. Period. I don't want to turn it 1 quarter to the right because then that would be over here in this corner. I turn it this way, it'd be upside down. But I could keep turning that 3 times and still end up at the same spot. Okay. And then the last one is this little compass rose. Meredith faced north. Okay. She turned 90 degrees to the right and then 180 more degrees more. In which direction is she facing? Okay. So if she's facing north and she turned 90 degrees, so now there's my 90. See, that's 1 quarter, just like that in the clock we saw. And then she went another 180 degrees. So I know 180 degrees is 2 more 90s. So she went this far and then another 90. All right, so it looks like she turned 270 altogether. And that makes sense because 180 plus 90 is 270. So which direction is she facing now? She's facing west. So Meredith is facing west. Period. Okay, that's all we have for today. All right, I hope that you had success and you had fun with this. I like doing this kind of stuff. It's neat. But as always, I look back and make sure that I'm proud of my work. All right, I wrote incomplete sentences with periods at the end. I wouldn't look at the back of that paper because there's nothing there, so I look at this. Good job. All right, kids, have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday. We're going to be starting our fraction unit on Monday, okay? Great job, kids. See you later.